Harold Conan was a physicist working at the SA Aerospace Corporation in Houston, Texas. He was in his mid-30s and had been married to a loving wife for a few years now. Harold was an intelligent man. He was never the kind to sit around and do nothing. A lot of his time went toward his work and personal research. But when Harold was at home, he liked to spend his leisure time reading exotic books and learning about different cultures around the world. Harold was also a fan of outdoor activities, and oftentimes he would disappear out into the open spaces of Texas, in the middle of nowhere, where he would enjoy the open skies and have a little fun performing experiments. Sometimes he would even take his wife Lois with him. "Harry, why do you spend so much time on these silly gadgets? This isn't going to work." "Forget about why. Just tell me if you're having fun or not." "Yeah, watching your gadgets fall apart and catch on fire is so much fun. I'd rather spend some time drinking a hot cup of coffee out on the balcony with you." All right. We can do that all the time. Now hold this. Launch the rocket when I signal you." Harold was enjoying his life. He was passionate about his work and content with his life at home. It was one weekend, while Harold was at home, in his study, working on some research papers, that he received a call from an unknown number. "Hello? Am I speaking with Harold Conan?" "Yes. Who is this?" "Mr. Conan, this is Dr. Ron White from SA Hospital. You must arrive at the hospital immediately. There is a patient here who has been badly injured. Perhaps you're familiar with him. The patient is having trouble speaking, but he keeps taking your name." "What? Who? How did this happen?" "All right, I'm on my way." The man on the other end abruptly hung up. Harold was concerned. He immediately grabbed his keys and put on his jacket. What was strange was the voice seemed so familiar. Harold checked his wristwatch. Every passing minute made him more anxious, not knowing what had happened. He assumed it must have been one of his colleagues. Harold reached the hospital in about 15 minutes. He ran inside, barely able to breathe, and went straight to the receptionist. "Excuse me, I'm Harold Conan. I received a call from Dr. Ron White to arrive at this hospital immediately. One of the patients here had asked for me." "Harold Conan? Hold on, let me just check." The receptionist checked her files. She furrowed her brows and took a glance at Harold. Then she picked up her phone and inquired about the matter. "I'm sorry, Mr. Conan. Perhaps it was a wrong number or a misunderstanding. There aren't any doctors here under that name, and no one at the hospital has requested for you. Are you sure? But I spoke with a man. Harold was confused. Was this a prank call? Sorry, you're right. Perhaps it was a misunderstanding. He went and sat in the waiting area, hoping the receptionist would call him again. He called up a few of his friends and colleagues, but no one seemed to know about any accidents that had occurred. After about 30 minutes,
Harold was sure this must have been the work of a prankster.
There was no accident. He shrugged and got back into his car. He was a little annoyed for having wasted his time. He should have never fallen for it. But the man knew his name. Whatever the case was, Harold shrugged it off and drove back home. As he caught sight of his house, he became a little stressed. Police had blocked off the road and were entering his home. He quickly parked his car and ran to the house. The police immediately surrounded him. "Mr. Harold Conan, you must come with us." "Officer, what's wrong? Where's my wife?" The officers looked at each other and then gave a look to Harold. Harold watched the paramedic crew take a body out of his home and into the ambulance. He was in a state of shock and grief when he found out someone had taken the life of his wife. Had called the police when they heard screaming in the house. Harold had returned from the hospital moments after the police had arrived, where the police told him that there were witnesses who claimed they had seen Harold enter and leave the house around the time the crime took place.
How can you be so sure it was Mr. Harold Conan himself?
Maybe it was a look-alike, or someone of the same dress and build. You could be mistaken. No, officer. This can't be a mistake. I was returning home when I saw Harold arrive. We've been neighbors for a long time now. He's a good friend to me. Just to pass time, we were both football fans. We even had a personal handshake we made up. I couldn't mistake him. If it weren't Harold, he couldn't have shaken my hand that exact way. How's everything going, Arnold? How's your wife? Any better?
Great. The doctors say she's recovering. How about you? I'm good. I hope she gets better. All right, I'll see you around. You too.
Officer, it couldn't have been anyone else. It was Harold. I saw him with my own eyes. I spoke to him.
He told me things only he and I would know.
Hey, Mr. Wilson. Thank you for your help. We'll look into the matter further. This is impossible, officer. I wasn't home at the time. I was at the hospital. How could I have killed my wife? You'll have to explain that in court, Mr. Conan. All evidence points to you. This is nonsense. I need to call my lawyer.
police were right about one thing. All forensic data collected from Harold's home pointed to him. His DNA and fingerprints were found everywhere, including on the knife allegedly used in the crime. Harold's lawyer fought the case with confidence, arguing that the presence of his fingerprints in his own home wasn't suspicious. Harold's strongest alibi was his visit to the hospital, which was confirmed by security camera footage inside and outside the building. The receptionist was also brought to the court and testified that Harold had indeed been present at the hospital during the time of the murder. With no way to incriminate him, the police had no choice but to let Harold go. He was released under restrictions. He couldn't leave Houston until the case was solved. Eventually, the court ruled in his favor, as he had provided the undeniable evidence of his whereabouts at the time of the crime. After the postmortem, Harold was able to give his wife, Lois, a proper funeral. Many friends and family came to offer condolences. As the ceremony ended and people left, Harold stood by her coffin, silent and lost. He turned to look for the funeral director. When he noticed a man standing at a distance, watching him. The man wore a dark overcoat, his hat low over his face. His hands were behind his back. Something about him was oddly familiar. As Harold approached, the man removed his hat, revealing tufts of silver hair. His face was slightly aged, but unmistakably similar. Who are you? Harold, don't be alarmed. I am you. What do you mean you're me? I am you from the future. It was the same voice the witnesses hadn't lied. They had seen this Harold. But why? You set me up to leave the house. You made that call. You killed her. Why? All you need to know is that, up until this point in your life with Lois, you were truly happy. I know her death devastated you, but not everything is as it seems. How are you here? If you change the past, shouldn't you cease to exist? I've come to tell you there's more waiting in your future, beyond imagination. Harold opened his coat and revealed a strange metallic belt strapped around his waist. This belt, it's what's keeping me anchored here. It prevents me from being erased from the space-time continuum. The future I came from no longer exists, yet this belt allows me to live in this timeline, even with another version of myself present. This is insane. A time machine? This goes against the laws of nature. It may sound impossible, but it isn't. It's the work of your own hands. One day, you will invent this, a space-time continuum shield. A space-time continuum shield? What is that? This belt contains a rare alloy that acts as a temporal shield. It won't be long before you discover it yourself. This invention what could change humanity's future. But I know you'll choose to keep it hidden for the greater good. Why go through all this? After coming so far, achieving so much, I owed it to myself to make one correction in my life. That's why I risked everything to return to the past. Harold stood in stunned silence, staring at the man he would become. Don't worry, I'll set things right this time.
If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.